Hey guys, so first of all I wanted to thank you all so much for the amazing welcome back. I got some really amazing positive and sweet comments, so thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back on this channel. And I wanted to talk about a topic that I brought up in my last video. I got some really good feedback on it, and I wanted to talk about moving out on my own. So I think I'll make this kind of maybe a series, maybe 2 or 3 videos, depending on the topics, but I don't want to make this a huge long vlog. I wanted to maybe talk about various topics throughout the various videos. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is budgeting and planning, and that's something I recommend you do before you move out. That's something that I was doing kind of in preparation of moving out. So just a little bit of background. I'm working full-time, and I only felt comfortable to move out on my own once I did have the savings and working full-time, and I knew that I had enough to support myself. So that's something that I highly recommend you kind of sit down and kind of plan out what things cost. I did kind of a list of, this is what rent would cost, this is what utilities like electricity and gas would cost, cable, groceries, my Metro card. I live in New York. That's something that I spend on a monthly basis. So having that list really prepared me to know this is what my maximum and my minimum that I want to spend. And I think rent was the biggest part because I live in New York. Rent is expensive, and I knew early on that I really wanted to live on my own. So a lot of people in New York, when they move out of their parents' house, and a lot of my friends, they have roommates that they share the cost with, and they kind of split things up. I knew really early on that I wanted to live on my own. I wanted to really support myself, so I didn't want a roommate, and now I live alone, and I'm really happy with my decision. I think it really depends on your personality, what you're comfortable with, but that was my choice, that was my decision. And definitely planning out my costs, I was able to kind of narrow down where I was looking and what kind of apartments I was looking at. So I did use a realtor. I live in New York, as I mentioned, so a lot of people that I know of use realtors here. I know that's probably different in different areas around America, around the world. I know a lot of people watch my videos in different areas, so I want to make sure to note that this is my experience in New York. But I did use a realtor, so that's something that helped me. I used several realtors just because they have different apartments in their kind of area that they can show you. So I think I looked at about I want to say 5 to 7 apartments, and some of them were okay, some of them were really not okay. They really didn't suit what I was looking for. They were too small or too, I don't know, one of them actually had real bugs in it, and I had to get out of there. But as soon as I walked into this apartment, I was just, I was so happy. It was exactly what I was looking for and then some. So I really knew that I was really happy here, and I've lived here almost a year now. So I actually got my paperwork to renew my lease. So definitely has been, I'm really been happy here, and has been a real journey for me. So something that I knew really early on is that what my minimum, my maximum was that I need to spend. And in terms of budgeting, that doesn't just stop when you're planning. Budgeting is part of being an adult. You want to make sure that you have enough money not only to cover various expenses, but if you want to have a little bit of extra to save, that's something that I recommend. I actually set up my my bank account even back when I was in college to automatically move a certain amount into my savings account. So having a savings account where you have this kind of little nest egg that you have planned out, I definitely recommend that in place before you move out, just because moving is expensive. I had to buy things that I didn't have when I was living with my parents, such as a new couch, a new a new coffee table, kitchen things. I bought a new bed, and there's just various little miscellaneous things that you have when you live with your parents, but they keep those things. So my parents kept their couch, obviously, so I needed my own. And definitely, if you can make a list of that and just kind of accumulate those things, or if you want to spend it all in one shot, it's really up to you. But make sure that you have enough to spend, basically, and you have the savings to kind of cushion you, just in case. And I'll knock on wood for that because I'm superstitious, but you want to have a little bit of savings just as a cushion. That's something I definitely recommend, and that's something that helped me in my move, when I knew that I have this amount of money and I can have a little bit of leeway, and that really made me a little bit more comfortable to move out and go on my own. So hopefully that was a little bit helpful. I want to make, like I said, kind of a couple more videos on this. I want to talk about being more independent. I live alone, so I do everything around here. I cook, I clean, I do my own laundry. And even if you live with a roommate, or even if you live with a partner or friend, you want to make sure that you're doing your fair share. So definitely something that are skills where you're living alone or living with somebody. You want to make sure that you have kind of those independent skills where you can take care of yourself. And you don't necessarily have to have all of those when you're moving out. Some of them I kind of built up, and some of them I learned as I moved out, but definitely something I want to talk about. I also want to talk about just various tips of living on your own and kind of keeping things up. I want to talk about that. And if you have any questions, I know that I have some young viewers that may be living with their parents, maybe thinking about moving out on their own. So if you do have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them, and even make a video on that topic. So feel free to ask, and please don't hesitate to. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful for you. Like I said, if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them down below, and I'll talk to you guys soon.